I want to speak to the version of you who has been doing everything for everyone else. The one who's poured herself into her people, her partner, her kids, everybody but you. If you feel like that resonates, if you are a woman who has just been giving it all away, then this pep talk is for you. Maybe you're in a place where your kids are older, or you've been in a marriage and now you're older and a different version of yourself. And you're wondering, as you feel that tug, right? That tug to try something different, or like, if this is it, this kind of sucks, right? Like, this can't be all that there is, then maybe it's time to create space for you in your own life. I get it. Your life probably looks really beautiful from the outside looking in. Everything is perfectly in its place, but yet you're feeling unsettled. And babe, that's normal. That's actually really good. That's you waking up to the fact that it's time for you to make space for you and what you really desire in your own life. And maybe you're like, girl, I don't know what I desire anymore. What is a desire? I've been mothering, I've been wifing, I've been single parenting, I've been caretaking, right? Whatever that looks like for you, you landed on this episode for a reason. And it's time to stop ignoring that feeling, that tugging, and to start really digging into what is that and what do I really want? Being a mother, being a wife, being a caregiver, being the nurturing beings that we are, right? That's such a big part of womanhood, but that's not all of who you are. And as a mother whose kids are now older, as someone who has gotten very lost in her roles, I was a caretaker for my brother when he first was diagnosed with cancer many years ago. I get it. I so get it. But this doesn't mean that this is all that you are. And that little kind of resentment, right? Don't feel guilt about that. Look at that as the little thread, right? To pull, to see, where is it that you really want to be? And girl, I get it, because we can be so lost in our roles that we don't even know who we are anymore. And that's completely normal. You're still in there, the dreamer, the artist, right? The version of you before you had children, before you became the wife, before you became the person that was in survival mode because you've just been raising these kids. That person is still in there. And now it's time to unearth that new and improved version of you. The ache that you're feeling is your inner self, your inner knowing saying, this can't be it. And I want you to, instead of feeling guilt for that low level of resentment that now you're finding the language for, right? Now that you know that you're not alone in that, take the guilt away and get curious. Get curious about what it is that you want in your life, because it's bigger than parenting. It's bigger than doing. It's bigger than being the person that does it all, because, honey, we're good at carrying things. When I teach a yoga class, I often, in mountain pose, I invite the women and the students in my class to really recognize that as you're standing there with your arms down, palms facing out, your hands are empty, babe. And that is a good place to start to look at, oh my gosh, I've been carrying too much. I've been carrying everything. What the fuck could I put down so that I can pick up myself, so that I can pick up what it is that I want? So, what I want you to do is start to carve out time for yourself. And I hate even to say carve, because, honey, we deserve way more than a little sliver of time. So, give yourself 20 to 30 minutes. Start there, right? We'll always add on, but start with 20 to 30 minutes to move your body, right? When's the last time that you really moved your body that wasn't chasing after the kids? When's the last time that you moved your body that wasn't walking from your desk to the motherfucking conference room? When was the last time that you did something to where you could get in your body? Because that's the first step, to get in your body, to get out of the mental kind of gymnastics of all the things that you're doing. Give yourself grace, but also take action. And if you're a longtime listener, baby, you know we give grace, but then we get into the grit of it and we take the action that scares the shit out of us, because nothing's going to change if we don't change. And yeah, that might be a little disruptive for your partner when you ask him to watch the kids, or when you have to dip into the budget to hire childcare. That's okay. Your life depends on it. So I want you to ask yourself some questions, because it's different for everybody. Ask yourself, what did I used to love before life was so full? What were the things that lit me up? What were the things that I used to find joy in? Even if it feels dumb as hell, even if you haven't even thought about this thing in 10 or 15 years, it's okay. We're taking the judgment off and we're being the loving witness to what it is that we're into, right? Maybe you're so lost in watching TV every night that you're like, I don't even know what I desire. Well, honey, no one's coming to save you, but you get to save yourself. That's the plot twist here that I want to offer you, is that you get to choose again and again and again something different. And if you're feeling that low level anxiety or frustration, that is a signal. That is a signal from your highest self that's like, hey, bitch, we need to figure it out because this ain't it. Another thing I want you to ask yourself or maybe journal about is, if I wasn't trying to be everything for everyone else, what would I want for me? Just for me? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. And don't answer it in the context of, well, I can't do that because this or that. No, we're taking that off the table and we're just having this one on one conversation with ourselves and asking, if I stopped trying to be Wonder Woman, okay, because that's really what it is, what would I want for myself? What would I be doing? And I want you to start small, right? Sometimes it looks like setting a boundary. Sometimes it looks like just asking for support. And I get it. As someone who is a single mother on and off for the last 19 years now, crazy to think about that. I am just learning to receive help and support because I didn't even, like, intellectually, I knew I was allowed to, but my parents, my family isn't there for me. Like, my parents passed away when I was young. My adopted family, my real blood family, yeah, they check in, but they're not people I can ask for support. And I used to get frustrated about it. And instead, I went into like hyper, survivor mode, or like hyper, I've got this mode. And what that led to was burnout. What that led to was frustration. What that led to was literal health issues. So I say this from a place of, I've sat where you're sitting and I get it, but I also understand that we can stand the fuck up and choose something different. But it takes courage. It takes being okay with creating some disruption in your life, right? But the first step is clarity. So, what I want you to do as soon as you turn this shit off is, I want you to get a journal. I want you to go for a walk, maybe even better. Go for a walk, feel your feet on the ground, go touch grass, okay? And think about, what would I want to do if I didn't care what people thought, if I didn't care about how much this might disrupt my life, taking all that off, get curious about, what would I want? And maybe that'll be a few walks that you'll have to take because you're that disconnected. And instead of judging that, give yourself grace. Of course, you're disconnected. You've been doing everything for everyone. But let me tell you this, there's no prize for the motherfucking martyr, right? Motherhood should not become martyrdom. And so often it does. And that trickles down into our children. I've dated men whose mothers were martyrs, and it helped me to understand, this is not healthy. Yes, I can do it all. And yes, I can carry it all. But why should I? There's no need. There's no prize at the end of your life for suffering. Lastly, know that you're not broken. You're not behind because you're just now having this realization. I just recorded a podcast episode about the misconception of like the midlife crisis. And actually, it's a fucking awakening. Like, hello, the programming is now quieter than your inner truth. And that's what's trying to come out and play. So instead of thinking that you're broken, let's reframe that. You're not behind. You're not late. Get the fuck off Instagram and stop comparing yourself to others and get outside. Get into your own heart and into your own mind. You've built a beautiful life. And this life that you've built will still be there. It's not going to all come crashing down because you choose yourself again. I want you to really know that as truth. You get to be the main character. She's not gone. She's yearning to come out, but you get to be the main character again when you choose to. So as soon as you turn this off, go outside, go for your walk, right? And instead of thinking about what's for dinner, instead of thinking about what you need to do, instead of thinking about the laundry and that like inner shame spiral that we get into, I want you to think about something that is just for you, because you deserve it, because your life depends on it, and because if you're still watching or listening to this, you know that you need it. Share this with someone that you know that needs that loving kick in the motherfucking ass to stop talking about it and start being about it. Stop being resentful and choose yourself. We're all allowed to. So let this be your permission slip. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.